So she had to go find the man that she talked about getting hit by a bus. Okay.
To try to prevent it from
Try to
happening.
prevent it. Okay. It was an okay movie, you know. It wasn't a good one, but it wasn't a horrible one. It still ended with him getting hit by a bus. You know what I mean?
Because you can't really prevent it,
But
is what they're saying.
But the thing is, though, she didn't write the entire thing. He didn't die. You know
yeah.
what I mean? So
He got hit by a bus and didn't die.
But he hates her because she's ruining his life. You know what I mean? Stop writing about me, because I'm getting hurt or things are going horrible in my life, and you keep writing about them. Stop it. You know what I mean?
I feel like the movie sounds familiar.
It has Will Ferrell, and I can't think of what the actress's name is now.
Do you remember what it's called?
No. It's like.
Why does it sound familiar?
I don't know.
I might have seen a piece of it. Or maybe I heard about it.
I can't think of what it's called. It was a big movie. It got some good awards. It's just I just couldn't get into it, man. It's just something about it. Like for me, not all comedy actors can do good.
Not every one of their movies are gonna be good.
Yes. And if you actually think about it,
if you think if an artist or a
but then again, Adam Sandler can do good movies that aren't comedies. For example, he did one where he's a guy dealing with depression. Okay. And what happens is he meets this guy who takes him in, takes cares of him, you know, and he just cares for the guy. And later on, he finds out that he's really, really depressed, and all these things happen, you know. He plays Shadow of the Colossus in the game, and it got awards, you know. And I thought it was a good movie. It's just.
Like the one thing people always think is that like an artist of any sort will always has good things. Like artists like drawing or music or actors, like any type of artist, like if they're known for like making good drawings or good music or good movies, then they think that they always will. And then but that's not how it is. Like you'll always have like some bad movies or bad drawings or bad music. Like I know a lot of things on each of them, like musicians I like, or actors I like, or artists I like. I'll like most of their stuff, but then there'll be like a decent amount of stuff that I don't
like all of Adam Sandler's movies, but I do have to say this.
He has a lot of good movies, like
I do have
good
to say
or
this.
decent movies.
I have to say this right here. He does hire his friends, and
all the time
because there was a.
He always does.
Not David Spade. Rob Snyder said that. Say what you want about Adam Sandler, but he's the reason I have a pool. You know?
Yeah.
I mean? He always hired me.
Because every Adam Sandler movie you see, so like you always see like the same
people.
Same like 7 to 10 people. It's just like, yep, that's now.
I like you know who else I like. I like Kevin. I like Kevin Hart, but I also like Kevin James too. I think he's a.
I've heard that some people said he's kind of an ass for like a little bit, but I don't. It's hard to take rumors out.
Yeah, it's hard to know.
It's hard to believe rumors like that, so he might not be.
It's hard to tell if someone's actually telling the truth.
Because a lot of times people just try to slander somebody if they like got upset at them or whatnot. So maybe he's not.
I have to restart this thing.
I mean, I like a decent amount of movies too.
I like The Zookeeper. I thought that was fun.
You see, with Kevin James movies, like people say they hate Paul Blart Mall Cop, but the first one wasn't that bad. The second one I didn't like.
I thought they were good movies. I actually enjoyed them.
The second one was harder to like. It just seemed like it wrote off the first movie's kind of like success. Because the first movie was kind of successful, but then it also had a lot of shit. It had this hate that like.
Fuck.
It had this hate, just like it was cool to hate the movie.
That's how I get away. Okay.
Yeah. So. like it was kind of people like acted like it was cool to hate Paul Blart Mall Cop because people started making fun of it. Then it became the popular thing. And go like, oh yeah, that was such a stupid movie, har har har. But honestly, it wasn't that bad. I mean, sure, it's cheesy as hell, but it wasn't that bad.
You see,
I mean, it was meant to be cheesy, you know, because he's an overweight mall cop who slowly fights off all these criminals with like guns and whatnot.
Dude, it's supposed to
which
be
realistically he would just be shot and killed.
It's like a joking movie of Die Hard.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's a joking Die Hard.
It's not supposed to be serious.
If you actually want to get to
and then the reason why the second one wasn't as good because it's like the end of the first one is like he gets with the girl he likes, like, you know, what's her face, and then the beginning of the second one, all of a sudden she's broken up with him. It's like, what the fuck happened?
It's kind of like Ted 2.
It was like, yeah. I mean, I watched the first one. I never seen the second Ted.
I don't know.
Seen Ted,
I don't know why
Ted
Mila left it. You know?
It's like they work up to get to this, and all of a sudden the big.
Are you kidding me?
Same thing happened again, where you just lost like a fourth of them again. So yeah, like I don't know why movies do that when they
you see,
the first movie they finally get to the end where they finally get with the person, and literally straight away from the beginning it's just like, yeah, they broke up. It's like, why? Oh yeah, because blah blah blah. It's like, no, that wouldn't happen. Like they give some reason where it's like, after all that, no, I doubt that. It's just like one of those convenient things where they need it to happen for the second movie to work out.
You see, there's a...
You know, it's like the main point on why the second movie happened, so it's just like, eh.
See, to get to a point where the movie actually is bad, is you have to get to a point where people, after watching it and actually come up with their own opinion, they come up with the idea that it is bad. You know what I mean? For example,
I hear a lot of people like say like what I said, like even though most people for some reason hate Paul Blart Mall Cop, like the first one, like they like it as like despite that, and I kind of agree that like the first one was fine. I mean, sure, it's not my favorite movie, but like when I watched it, it didn't seem bad. I think I've seen it like two or three times.
You see,
it's not bad, but like after watching it the second time, that kind of gets.
There's a point where the movie does actually become bad. You know what I mean? For example, right now people are saying that Rise of Skywalker is bad. You say what I mean? Like how they always say Rise of Skywalker. They always say the next Star Wars movie is the worst one they've ever seen. First it was Last Jedi.
Well, that's most of those people was because they said that it was kind of almost impossible to save that trilogy because of the Last Jedi, because the Last Jedi was. It honestly just felt like a wasted movie because you just spend the whole movie switching between just stalling in that ship fight to just going to Rey talking to Luke the whole movie.
See,
and it's just like, what's the point of the movie?
You see,
and then at the end, then they escape, and then she whatever. It's just like it was just like, so you're saying that this could have just been a five minute sequence, and it would have been the same thing.
You see, when you get to a certain point where, for example, people hated the original, you know, the remakes. You know what I mean? They hate not the remakes, but the
prequels.
The prequels. Okay, they hate the prequels. Okay?
I remember from what little memories I have of like all the Star Wars movies. I remember the first one out of the prequels was really slow to me, like when Anakin's a kid and the racing.
Yeah.
And I just remember not liking it because of how slow the pace the movie is, and just being like, I don't know, just something about the whole movie. Just like I remember just sticking with me that I didn't like it.
I like the Phantoms.
But that's from my memories from like over 10 years ago. So that's why I need to rewatch all of them to get like a new, fresh opinion on them.
See, that's the thing though. When everyone had
so
the same ideas. Got on the bandwagon and said that the originals, not the originals, the remakes are horrible. You know what I mean? And then when they actually started finally watching it without actually listening to everyone say that they're horrible, people started liking it and saying, "Oh wow, the third Revenge of the Sith is probably the best Star Wars movie they've ever made." You know what I mean? And that's a prequel one. See, that's the thing. When you actually start making up your own ideas, you find out that they're not horrible. For example, I like Rise of Skywalker. I thought that was actually pretty awesome. I liked how they edited it. Well, I don't like how they edited it. I wish someone would have lived other than the other person would have lived, you know? But I still think it was a good one. It wasn't one of the best ones, but it still was watchable. You know what I mean?
I think out of the prequel trilogy, I think the one that I didn't mind is when, Anakin was older.
The evil Anakin, when he's
and
evil,
then he's turning evil.
Okay, so Revenge of the Sith, yeah.
So I remember I didn't mind watching that one.
When they're in the fire.
When I was younger.
When the fire world.
I got the high ground, Anakin.
Yeah, that is absolutely my favorite.
I remember that movie. I didn't mind, but I remember the first one when Anakin's a kid. It was just so slow paced. I couldn't watch it.
The first three Star Wars movies are my favorite Star Wars.
Which one was the one where they fought each other and he's turning evil? Was that the third one of the prequels or the second one?
That's Revenge of the Sith. That's the last one, the very last one.
What happens in the second one? I just.
Anakin.
It's been so long. I guess I don't remember what the second one was.
Anakin's a teenager, and he Anakin's a teenager, and he falls in love with Padme. You know what I mean?
What else happens in that one?
They find Count Dooku appears. They find out they find out about cloning. You know?
Yeah.
Found out the clones.
Okay, so that's what that one is. Which Darth Maul appeared in the first one, and then Count Dooku was the second one. Okay, yeah. Okay, yeah.
You see, I actually like the original.
See, this is all the Star Wars knowledge is basically what I have from like 10 to 15 years ago, and so it's like
my favorite
no more like 10 years ago.
My three favorites are the first three, and not the original three, the prequels. Yes, the 1 through 3.
So now it's just the original 3, prequels, sequels. That's how people talk about them now.
I like the prequels. I like them more than all the other ones. I like the originals. The originals aren't horrible.
The originals aren't that bad either.
It's just I like the characters of the.
Because the originals came out first, and people thought they were like perfect. Then the prequels came out, and they're like kind of different than the originals, and so they're like, yeah, I don't like the prequels, and so people always go like the prequels suck. Then the sequels came out, and they're like, yeah, maybe the prequels were fine.
Yeah. Maybe I judged
honestly,
you too harsh.
in my opinion, from I mean, I need to rewatch them all anyways, but from what I remember, I think I like the prequels more than the sequels, and I think I might like the originals more than the prequels. But I might change my mind after rewatching.
But then I'm the opposite. I like the sequels.
But this is just off the little bit of knowledge I remember.
I like the prequels more than I like the sequels.
So I think the originals were fine, the prequels were fine, and the sequels. The only good sequel was that I was fine with was The Force Awakens.
You know the reason why I like the prequels more? I like all the other ones because they're actually Jedi's in it. You know what I mean? They're actually fighting. There's some things that actually go on. In the other ones, you are in they're wars. You know, there's actually a war going on, but not really. It's not really a war. It's just pretty much an idea that the Empire is bad and it's a rebellion. Unless it's like but there's actually a war going on with the other ones. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, there's a war going on in the other ones. It's kind of an afterthought.
Like, I think I watched 3 of the Indiana Joneses, or at least 2 of them, but I don't really remember what happened in each one. It's been too long.
Can you remember which ones you saw?
I think I might have watched the original 3, and then when I heard they came out with the 4th one, I never watched it. But it's been just as long as Star Wars. But I think I only watched the Indiana Joneses once, but I think I watched Star Wars like twice.
You see,
so I remembered a little bit more of Star Wars than I did Indiana Jones.
You see, I kind of got that point.
Same thing with Lord of the Rings. I only watched Lord of the Rings like once.
I like Lord of the Rings.
So I don't really remember much from there either. I just remember at one point they storm they basically storm the area with the trees, and then they just destroy everything. I always like that part because it's the fucking trees.
It's the tree. Don't mess with the trees, man.
Don't mess with the tree people.
They're gonna kill. They're gonna wipe you out.
I remember that was always my favorite part because it's like, damn, these trees kick ass.
Yes, they are pretty awesome.
They're really just killing everybody and taking over. So I do remember stuff from each of those, but it's just been like each of those were like 10 years ago, and I haven't really rewatched them.
With Indiana Jones, they're good. You know, they really are. Star Wars is what really helped with Harrison Ford's career, but Indiana Jones was a very good one that also.
Yeah.
But in all seriousness, I always loved the third one. I liked the third one because the third one was more about him and his dad.
I don't know why, but I think I remember more from The Matrix than I do from all of them combined, like all those other ones. Like the Matrix trilogy.
It's been a while since I've seen the last one.
What's weird is that we got these Star Wars sequels. We're possibly there's the rumors or confirmation that we're gonna get a Matrix
yes.
with Keanu Reeves.
Which I don't understand what happened.
And then there's the rumor that we might get a new Indiana Jones. And then but there hasn't been a rumor of a new which one am I forgetting? Yeah, I don't think there'd be a way for them to have a new Lord of the Rings.
Oh no, it's over. Yeah,
so out of all of those, Lord of the Rings would be one that wouldn't have one. Or they could,
what do you mean?
But it'd be different.
You mean the TV show that's coming out? The Lord of the Rings TV show that's coming out?